boys. What time is it? It's game time. Time for another face-off between two awesome books. We've got Antoinette versus Birdy Tweets. Which one are you gonna like better? Antoinette is from the creators of Gaston. This is Gaston, if you've ever read it. And if you haven't, look for it in the other Read Aloud playlist. Antoinette is written and illustrated by Kelly DiPuccio and Christian Robinson. Mrs. Bulldog watched her puppies race through the yard. Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette. Here they come again! Busy, aren't they? And ridiculously cute. But please don't tell them that. Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette. Phooey! Mrs. Bulldog knew, as mothers do, that each of her puppies was oh so special. Rocky was clever, outstanding. Ricky was fast, superb. Bruno was strong, impressive. And Antoinette, well, unlike her burly brothers, she still hadn't quite discovered what she was good at. Chin up, barked her mother. You have something extra special. I can feel it in my bones. Antoinette was not so sure. Every day the family went to the park to play with their doggy friends. Fifi, Foo-Foo, Ooh-La-La, and Gaston. Antoinette was fond of Fifi, Foo-Foo, Ooh-La-La, and especially Gaston. There was much to chase after in the park. Biscuits, balls, butterflies. Oh boy, there seems to be a problem. Yip. What looks like the problem? It looks like Antoinette is off by herself chasing a butterfly. A puppy is missing, Mrs. Bulldog announced. The pups gathered around. Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette, followed by Fifi, Foo-Foo, and Gaston. What? Where is Ooh-La-La? Mrs. Poodle asked frantically. Mrs. Bulldog comforted her friend. We will find her, she insisted. My mistake. I thought it was Antoinette chasing the butterfly, but obviously it was who? You're right, Ooh-La-La. And now, friends, she is lost, so they must go on a hunt to find her. Rocky was clever and tracked paw prints in the mud. No Ooh-La-La. Ricky was fast and he raced around the lake in no time at all. No Ooh-La-La. Bruno was strong and he left no stone unturned. No Ooh-La-La. Mrs. Poodle cried out in desperation. Whatever shall we do? In that moment, Antoinette felt a tug in her heart and a twitch in her nose. She could not, would not give up. Antoinette sniffed sidewalks and street vendors and signposts. The fearless pup dodged boogies and bicycles and broomsticks. Not even a loud, hungry garbage truck could slow her down. She's on a mission. When the parade of dogs approached the entrance to the city's museum, Antoinette began to yap loudly. "No dogs allowed," the guard said gruffly, pointing to the sign. But Antoinette was unstoppable. She ran circles around the guard, dashed through the doors, and raced down a long corridor. Antoinette burst through the crowd just in time. Yep, yep, yep. To save Ooh La La from a perilous fall. There's Ooh La La still chasing that butterfly on a statue. Très bien. Very good. Would you like to see that again? Here's Antoinette, capturing Ooh La La from danger, safe at last. Well done, Antoinette. Merci, merci, Mrs. Poodle said, panting happily. You found my Ooh La La. Mrs. Bulldog was beaming with pride. You were remarkably brave, she said to her daughter with a wink. Antoinette smiled. Gaston smiled too. And many years later, while Antoinette and Gaston were raising a busy family of their own, Antoinette followed her heart and her nose and became one of the most famous police dogs ever to patrol the streets of Paris. Oh, such a fascinating, remarkable story. I hope you enjoyed it. However, the eve is not done. The dawn has not broke before we read another Antoinette verse. Nerdy Birdy Tweets. Story by Aaron Reynolds. Pictures by Matt Davies. Nerdy Birdy Tweets. Tap, 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 tap. This is Nerdy Birdy. Nerdy Birdy loves playing video games. This is Vulture. Vulture thinks video games are boring. Vulture loves snacking on dead things. Nerdy Birdy thinks dead things are gross. Nerdy Birdy and Vulture are very different. They are also best friends. I have a best friend that is maybe different than I. I am a little different than her, but we're still best friends. Let's see how this friendship works. 3 things Nerdy Birdy and Vulture love to do together. 1, make fun of each other's lunch. 2, make silly faces. 3, take goofy pictures of each other. Gluten, flavor, texture, and excitement-free breadcrumbs. Edible product. One day, Nerdy Birdy discovered an amazing new game. It's called Tweetster, he told Vulture. What does it do? Asked Vulture. Lots of things. Collect tons of friends online who may or may not text you back, play games with them all, tweet messages and pictures for them all to see. Sounds, awesome, said Vulture, even though it really sounded kind of dull. Nerdy Birdy had 50 new Tweetster friends.
I'm friends with the flamingo.
Neat. A day later, Nerdy Birdy had 100 new Tweetster friends. He played Angry Worms with an ostrich and tweeted his score.
I'm friends with an ostrich. How cool is that?
Cool. A week later, Nerdy Birdy had 500 new Tweetster friends. He had never dreamed he could have that many friends.
I'm friends with the puffin. She lives in Iceland.
Iceland! You're friends with a vulture, and she's dying of boredom. Boredom! Let's do something different.
In a minute.
This is not fun.
Did you realize?
Oh, did you realize I can fit your whole body in my beak? I could eat you in one bite if I wanted. Nerdy Birdy doesn't care because it's in front of the phone.
That's nice.
Vulture decided she'd had enough watching Nerdy Birdy play Tweetster. Vulture spread her wings and flew away. An hour later, Nerdy Birdy finally noticed. What a shame. The next day, Vulture had a surprise for Nerdy Birdy. Vulture had joined Tweetster. They tweetstered together all morning. At lunchtime, they put away their games. It was just like old times. They made fun of each other's lunch. They made silly faces. They took goofy pictures of each other. But when they logged back into Tweetster, Vulture found a surprise waiting for her. What is this? At Nerdy Birdy, meaning Nerdy Birdy wrote this. At Vulture Girl is a messy eater. She eats dead things. Ew.
Oh, that is a picture from lunch.
Nerdy Birdy blasted that all over the internet. Why did you tweet that to all of your Tweetster friends?
I thought it was funny.
Just because you thought it doesn't mean you should tweet it.
Why?
It's embarrassing.
I just thought...
No, you didn't. Vulture spread her wings and flew away. An hour later, Vulture hadn't come back to their favorite telephone wire. A day later, Vulture wouldn't answer any of Nerdy Birdy's calls.
Vulture!
A week later, Nerdy Birdy found a dead squirrel on the road, Vulture's favorite snack. He waited for hours, hoping she might stop by. Vulture never showed up. But then it hit him. Nerdy Birdy had 500 Tweetster friends. He'd ask them for advice. He tweeted, at Nerdy Birdy, "My best friend is mad at me. What should I do?" Tap, 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 tap. 10 minutes later, nobody had tweeted back. An hour later, nobody had tweeted back. A day later, only 3 Tweetster friends had tweeted back. At Ostrich49 said, "LOL, stinks to be you." Super unhelpful. At Puffin Stuff said, What do you want me to do about it? I'm in Iceland. And helpful? At Pink Flamingo 7 said, try not to be such a bird brain, LOL. It wasn't meant to be helpful. But it was super duper helpful. Nerdy Birdie closed down his game. He opened up his tiny little wings and he flew. He flew high. He flew low. He flew across town. He flew over fields until he spotted her. Vulture blended right into the branches of the dead oak tree, but Nerdy Birdie knew his best friend a mile away.
I was a bird brain.
Vulture said nothing.
I shouldn't have tweeted that photo of you.
Vulture said nothing.
I'm sorry,
said Nerdy Birdie. You should be, said Vulture.
I really am.
And he really was. What about your 500 tweetster friends? Nerdy Birdie shrugged.
One real live you is worth 1,000 tweetster friends.
This is Nerdy Birdie. This is Vulture. They are very different. They are also best friends. Some days Nerdy Birdie decides what they should do. Take that! Just beat your angry worms! All-time high score! Superior worm scorer!
One more game, please!
Some days Vulture decides what they should do.
Dead raccoon! Dead ahead!
I see it. And some days they even get together. And tweet.
La 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 la, chirp chirp chirp.
Do you know what tweeting really means with birds? It's like they're singing, so that's why that part's funny. This story about friendship could be one you've loved, but I don't know. Did you enjoy it more than Antoinette? Oui, 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 oui. Which one did you like better? Now, I know we can't do comments on this website, so you can just shout out when I count down from 3, 2, 1, in just a second, which one you liked better, Antoinette or Nerdy Birdie Tweets. 3, 2, 1. Those sound like good choices. See you next time. Keep shooting for the stars.